Okay, welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode 161. This is reviewing the 161st episode of the anime, The Castle of Nightmares. Yeah, the title is a big fat lie. The place they go to is not a place of nightmares. Not really, no. Yeah, it's kind of like the title was just simply just put there just because. I would have thought, though, this place would be like a horrific place to go to. At least that's what the trailer teased. Nope, that turned out to be a big fat lie. The episode picks up exactly where last week's episode left off, where the butler, who was basically asked to meet the Kuroski, asked him to cure his infected with the Hiroshima cell, and he used a sample of Mitsuki's antibodies to cure him. Okay, then he takes him to his employer. His name is Sakuya. No idea who this woman is. Also, we see the owner of that medical company from the start of this arc talking with some guy named Dappa. I don't know who this guy is at all. Okay. Yeah, and he thinks he's freaking Batman. But when he just stops talking, he just completely disappears. And no, I have no idea who this guy is. So, then they go visit a woman. Oh yeah, the place has got a barrier. But with his, let's just say his code ID per se, he's going to get past the barrier no problem. And apparently, get this, there was this one, when they get there, there's this one guy who basically, there's this, not much of a guy, he's basically looks like a decaying corpse. Apparently, he touched the barrier, so he aged like 50 years in less just a minute. And he's just like, take the body out here, dispose it out of town. And the people who work with him are like, yes, sir. And then he's able to touch the doors. Barriers move. They will go in, no problem. And they go into another room, and then Boruto is chained up. Yep. And he's about to infect it with a Hiroshima cell. They want for surgery for some reason. They want to make Sakura young. And according to Konohama's friend, if they ask, like, is that true? No, we know nothing about the original, so we don't know if that's true or not. Meanwhile, though, Mitsuki is still at the hospital, where Yatoro decides to do a blood transfusion. I'm sure he probably gets that of doing. He had no problem doing it anyway, so transfers the little girl, and she's perfectly fine. And when she wakes up, it's like she was hoping for more screaming, more pain, and she says, like, when he wakes up, be sure to thank him. And that's Mitsuki. Mitsuki, surprisingly, despite appearing for 2 scenes, he has 0 dialogue the whole episode. Yes, Mitsuki, one of the main characters of the series, has got 0 dialogue. Wow. So dumb. So, meanwhile, of course, Konohama disguised as Kirishima to do surgery. Looking at Boruto had basically thought of a clone. Like, information like, okay, the Hiroshima cell is with the employee of this place, so Boruto is looking for her, and he sniffs around, and of course, there's perfume. While he's doing this, it turns out that the ladies, basically guys disguised as ladies, have been following them. Yep, they followed him. And he comes across the room, and goes in pretty quietly, too. And then he comes across Lady Sakura. It's like, where's the thing hidden? And there's a kunai in her back. Yes, there is a kunai. And they say this looks like the Hidden Leaf one. I'm thinking, though, the Hidden Leaf one usually wraps things in red. Why is it gray, and why is Boruto's gray? This makes no frickin' sense at all. And it turns out she was killed by the ladies. Just cuz. And of course, Bella comes in, sees that, oh yeah, his employer is dead. And says, oh yeah, it's actually the Hidden Leaf who are responsible for this. Despite the fact they had nothing to do with this at all. Oh yeah, and also before all this, Konohama was basically discussing having a drink. Basically, say, hey, can I have the finest wine in this place? Okay. He does. I think he takes one small sip of the thing. I don't think he even drinks the damn thing before the alarm goes off. And then the Corvus Brothers kill as a bonus. And apparently the person in charge of barriers killed. And then these four guys, called ladies, decide to tell everybody, hey, the Hidden Leaf basically killed the person in charge of this castle. Go arrest him. And that's how the episode ends. They also mentioned that the place called the Frugal Castle, which I don't think this is, from look at the place, it does not, it kind of does look like the place that Gengo was basically living in when you saw him in the Shikamaru arc. By the way, despite the fact that, yes, in the previous episode, they mentioned him, but there's no stock footage flashback to the whole arc. There's no mention of Shikamaru with the fact he's been here. And they also mentioned, like previously, that only a relative of the first Hokage can basically withstand his cell. Last time I checked, there's only technically... Now, Boruto might be able to do it because he's a distant relative of the first Hokage, because here's the thing. The first Hokage's wife is from the same clan as Boruto's grandmother, Kasumi. So he could basically withstand the cell no problem because he's a distant relative. The only person I can think of who do is maybe Naruto, Hisumi, or maybe even Tsunade. They didn't even consider contacting her in this whole arc. Nope, no discussion. So, they're framed for triple murder. Yep, and my guess the next few episodes is them trying to get out of the Land of Silence. And probably never going back. Yeah, framing for the murder of some random woman who just happened to leave this place. Yeah, this is kind of a weird episode. If you think about it, like, okay, we have some wealthy rich woman. Oh, and here's the thing about her, is that she really wants to be young again. And despite the fact, oh yeah, the most beautiful woman, basically, he's ever seen. You see the woman, and she's an old lady who doesn't like the fact she's getting older, and she doesn't like seeing her reflection. Yeah, and it's also shown throughout the whole place that she has a bunch of shattered mirrors all over the place because she hates her reflection. Okay. And she wants to become young again. Okay, why not use the jutsu that Tsunade uses? That would have solved your problem. Nope, she probably never considered contacting Tsunade. Because Tsunade is a world famous person. And yet these people don't bother to contact world famous people. Yes, because people in Land of Silence are somewhat stupid. Because they have no freaking government in that freaking country. But that's what it's described here, because the replacement person who's ruling the country was overthrown, and now we have nobody ruling the Land of Silence. It's a land ruled by outlaws. Yeah, this is kind of a weird situation when it comes to the Land of Silence. It's like when you finish watching this episode, you probably like, okay, I could have got little information about the woman who was killed. And here's the thing about this woman. She's only seen in like 2 scenes. I mean, you see her introduction scene where she's interacting with one of her servants, and then next time we see her, she's murdered. I'm like, really? You mentioned her in the last episode that that this butler's working for a beautiful woman. You see her, and it's an old lady, and she wants to be young again. 2 scenes. That's it. Yeah, this episode was a bit disappointing, but a bit interesting. It's a combination of disappointment and interesting at the same time. Voice acting is great. The animation is great. The weakness of this episode is the writing. There's not a lot of development happening this episode. I would say probably the only thing I found interesting was the stuff with Mitsuke. Because, oh yeah, by the way, what is Sadara up to? She and Konohama's friend are just chillaxing. They're just basically watching in silence because I can't enter the place. Okay. And if you look at it, like I said before at the top of this review, the title of this episode is nothing more than a lie. For something called Castle of Nightmares, you're probably thinking this was a hellish place. Nope, the place looks perfectly fine. It's not a horrible place. It looks like a normal castle. Yeah. Next week, everybody's they're on the run because they're accused of killing this lady and her butler and the guardian of a barrier for some reason. Also, what about the airship? How the heck did the ladies escape? By the way, these four guys, who they're working for, why they did this, not revealed here. Probably will be revealed a little bit later. I'm really hoping though this is not turned like the Mitsuki arc, where basically a lot of the arc is filled with terrible writing a lot of the time. I would say this arc has been good up until this very episode. I'm hoping next week this actually gets fixed, because I would say most of this episode is going to be pretty terrible. It's like you basically here's what happens. Oh, walk to the place. Brief conversation about the employer. Get to the castle. Dead body. Or taken away. Walk to the castle for like one room. Trap. Basically, what a person described is basically something that happens over the course of 10 minutes. Yes, 10 minutes. Yeah. Not really much else to say about this episode. This episode was pretty disappointing to say the least. Oh yeah, and also the thing about the Hidden Leaf Ninja accused of murder. I'm reading that now in Green Arrow. Why the heck are we seeing this in anime? Now, in case you're wondering, has Boruto himself accused of murder prior to this? I have watched the entire series of Boruto. As far as I know, this is the first time I can think of he's ever been accused of murder. What about his father? Has he ever been accused of murder? Nope. Yeah, Naruto has never accused of murder the entire series. I think Sasuke has, but not frickin' Naruto. Nope. I can't remember any time in the original Naruto, either in the original Naruto anime or in Shippuden, he was ever accused of murder. Not at all. I'd say probably the only person from the previous generation who was ever accused of any kind of, let's say, killing, it was probably Sasuke. Because nobody else. I mean, anybody who Naruto killed, he wasn't, let's say, framed for the murder per se. Yeah, I don't think that Kishimoto basically would ever want to do that to his own main character. I'm sure he's probably not happy of how this episode turned out, but who knows? Okay, so yeah, that's it for this particular review, and that's probably gonna be it for video today. Unless I get these next several episodes for One Piece, and not, I'll just probably save it for tomorrow. But see you next video. Bye.